What's up everyone, Paul here from the Bow Locker, and today I'm going to give you a breakdown of my 2025 hunting setup. Now this isn't necessarily going to be a review of everything that's on here, but just a quick general rundown of what I'm using. So without further ado, we'll dive right into it. First off, you can't pick a bow that's bad. Any of the flagship bows, you could really throw a dart at the wall and they're going to shoot great. It's just a matter of personal preference. So what I did this year, and what I have all of my customers do, is I shot absolutely everything, and I just found what worked best for me with my draw length, the poundage that I shoot, and how I like to hold and aim. So for me this year, that's going to be the Mathews Lift X 33. I'm shooting 75 pounds and 30 inches on this. I'm typically a 30.5 inch draw. The Mathews bows tend to draw a little bit long, so with the 30-inch module, this thing was perfect. I swapped out the strings for gas Systm X Strings. I've always shot gas strings, and that just gives me a warm and fuzzy, so I swapped those out right away. I'm shooting a Hamskea Raptor 3/16 Peep with the B3 exact Linx sight and the new Dark Owl multi-pin scope. This thing is awesome. I'm going to be doing a review on that later on. Let's just say this will be on most of my bows from now on. I did go back and forth between a couple different sights this year. I tested quite a few of them. I shot the Spot Hog Booney last year. I tested the B3 Exact Linx this year along with the Excel driver. I've also shot the option archery sight in the past. I went with this one this year just because for the features and the durability and what I was looking for, this really checked all the boxes at a really good price point. So I did my review on that earlier in the year. If you want to watch that full review, you can go back in the videos and check that one out. For a rest, I'm shooting the AAE Prophecy. I always, over the years, shoot either a Hamskea Epsilon or a Hamskea limb-driven rest, or I shoot an AAE. This year, I went with the AAE. I really wanted something that I could just lock up in case I'm doing some ground hunting or spot and stalk. And this thing has done really well. They're super durable. I'm not a big QAD fan. I've just found that even though they're more compact and sleek, over the years as a pro shop owner, I've seen those fail more than anything. So AAE or Hamskea for me. This year it's going to be the AAE Prophecy. I've got a 15-inch front bar, Mathews Bridgelock Stabilizer off the front with 2 ounces of weight on it. And then I've got a 10-inch back bar with 5 ounces off the back of that. I don't do a ton of stabilizer weight. I do typically do a 1:2 or 1:3 ratio on my stabilizers. This year it's 2 and 5. This thing's still pretty light and it's holding perfectly for me. Flipping over to the other side. My arrows, as you can see, we've got one of these already broken in this year. We have early antlerless season here in 3M in New York, and I was able to get out last night, and we got the job done on a big old nanny doe. So I'm shooting the new Victory HLR in a 250 spine. I've got the 50 grain half out in the front, along with a 20 grain back weight. So I've got 170 up front in my insert weight, and then for a head, I'm shooting a 100 grain Evolution Outdoors Whitetail Fury. Last year I shot the Hide and it was awesome. This year I'm shooting the Whitetail Fury, which is the same as Hide, just with a little bit bigger hole. Overall, this arrow with a 5 fletch AAE Airazr 23 and just a regular AAE IP nock, it's sitting at 456 grains, which is a little bit lighter than what I typically shoot. I usually like to get my arrows somewhere in that 475 to 480 range so that my bow is shooting between 280 and 290. This year my setup's a little bit faster. So with that 456 grains, 75 pounds, 30-inch draw weight, I'm getting 304 feet per second. And this thing's still unbelievably accurate at that speeds. I don't typically like to go too fast because sometimes you can have a little bit of tuning issues going that fast, but this has been awesome. And lastly on this bow, something that I'm really excited about is this quiver. So this is the Cutter's Skyline Pro Quiver. It is by far the best universal mount quiver that I have ever used. Again, I won't dive too far into details. I'll do a separate review on that later. But that is my 2025 hunting setup. If you guys have any questions, drop it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to help support the channel. Thanks, guys.